like this feeling of being weird, it's not gonna logically go away.
Okay.
You can only get over it if you talk to people, and that's what I mean. Like lower your standards for what a success is, right? Like you're trying to skip steps and go faster, but it's actually going slower.
Yeah, I kind of noticed this, and this is why I kind of approached you because I know I'm doing something wrong. So, yeah.
You understand what I said in the before? Like the volume is the biggest thing for you right now.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like yeah, you hit the nail on the head with that one. I have to like pump up the volume or nothing's gonna work.
Yeah,
But
because right
now,
now what's happening is you don't have a lot of volume, and then because of that, you keep over analyzing every interaction. While in reality,
yeah,
you should be having so many conversations that you kind of even forget what happened. You don't need to become like a social monkey and just like literally just like you need to be selective and strategic. Like right now, it's been like 26 minutes since we've been on the call, and you've like okay, you talked to one friend, but you've only talked to one girl, and that's kind of like the issue, right? So
yeah,
I think first is just like doing warm ups every time. You need to do them, and literally tracking time, and if not going more than 5 7 minutes without talking to anyone. Like if you need, just make even the smallest interaction with another guy. Just ask them what's the best place to do day game, and
okay.
because it's a bit uncomfortable, and it's a bit like you have to put yourself out there in some weird way. Uh, and if you do that, it already should like pump up your state. Like you need to be good at changing your state and pumping yourself up.
Yeah,
Because
I
honestly,
cannot do
like
this yet. I second this. I really second this. This is like my biggest because if I go like in a down like downward spiral, I can't get out of it.
yeah,
That
but
makes
why
sense.
do you think what makes you go into the downward spiral? Do you beat yourself up, or what's the issue?
Uh, well, sometimes I do. Sometimes I just kind of, it's always over analyzing some interaction, and I just kind of Bulgarian we say you go in the movie. Basically, you like, I don't know, you figure out some scenario, and then you start being anxious about it. It's not gonna happen. If that makes sense.
If you don't approach much, you're gonna overanalyze. So you just need to increase the number of approaches that you do, and maybe stop judging yourself so much for was it successful or was it not. Judge yourself for your input, not for your output.
Okay.
Because it still seems
Hey,
like
you
right
have to
now you're
write this down.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
So
write it
like,
down. I'll write it down. Because don't judge yourself for the like output. Let me write it down.
I'll put in what sense what they mean.
Uh, I'm writing it down. So output means like how the conversation went. So if it went bad or good or like the you should judge yourself if you went out and actually did the necessary approaches. So that should be your main KPI you should track, right? Because you are putting
You
enough
have to write this
time.
down. Yeah, you have to write this down. I'll forget
Yeah.
it.
And you are putting enough time. So that is clearly like already good. But what you are not doing is you're not having enough approaches. And like
Yeah.
if I look right now on your sheet, since the last time we spoke, you did three directions and three normal approaches. And that was like 4 or 5 days ago we had the session. So
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing. So you can have the best game, but with that little approaches, nothing's gonna happen. And I
Yeah.
think the reason that you're not doing so many approaches is you're judging too much of like if it's gonna be a successful approach or not. But instead, you should judge whether or not you do them in the first place. I would rather have you do 20 shitty approaches than one like amazing and number and a date. Because you said, I think that's why you also told me that it feels like luck because it's very inconsistent.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how good your game is if your kind of like habit habit of getting over your anxiety and habit of being consistent is not there. Um, so So approaches like warm up should be mandatory for you, and literally you should aim to do you should go out and you should not leave the venue until you talk to 10 people.
Okay. Yeah, and this should take like or no more than an hour or something. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Because
like you need
I've never
to
talked to like that many, so it
exactly like
makes
and that's the thing like for you to talk to that many you need to get out of the logical mode and just be like super logical. Um
yeah.
so because yeah, like I think right now you're way too selective about who you approach. And again, we don't need to become like social marketing is just like becoming a jokester or a clown, but literally just if you can ask a guy, hey, what's the best place to do day game? It's a weird question, and because of it, it's going to be uncomfortable, and because of it, you're going to need to force yourself out of the anxiety in the first place. Like right now, your goal is to get over your approach anxiety, and for that, you don't need to be talking to hot girls. You can be talking to guys and asking them what's the best place to do day game.
Okay.
Because the problem is that I think there are a lot of hot girls. It's just like you're not able to talk to them because of the approach anxiety. So um, literally like 10 people per every time you go out. That should be your thing. Or like let's say at least 8 people. Let's at least
At least
8 people
eight.
because the best approaches are going to be anyways like approach 6, 7, and 8.
Okay. And
Um,
can we also write all of these down? So because
yeah,
I will try to remember it, but yeah,
yeah, for sure, for
it's
sure. I write it down, and the more you walk around like this without talking to anyone, the more your anxiety is going to come back.
yeah. Now I feel super anxious because I saw friends and I don't want them to see me doing this. If that makes sense.
Okay. For example, like this girl that just passed you, like with the pink jacket, you could have just said, "Hey, cool jacket," and that's it, you know. And it would take you like 2 seconds, but that would pump your state up quite a lot. All right, man. What about these two girls on the right?
I
Just
don't know
go give
what
them
to
a
say.
compliment. What?
I have no idea what to tell them because they're like super hot. They're like, yeah, thanks.
Okay. Well,
Hello? Can
first
you?
of all,
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't matter how hot they are. Like you're literally not even trying to quote unquote get their numbers. It's just like you're literally trying to deal with approach anxiety. I think right now you are trying to confuse different goals. Like you're not in a
Okay.
stage of trying to get numbers. If you do, that's good. But right now you're in a stage of getting over your approach anxiety. So it doesn't even matter if they're a hot girl or if they're quote unquote like a five.
Okay. I don't know. Saying this here has a bit of different connotation. Maybe I'll figure out what to say, but basically saying here people will think that you're gonna steal their job. If that
You're
makes
gonna
sense,
what?
if it
Murder
doesn't.
them?
The steal because
I
yeah,
mean, but things like in Barcelona, it's the same thing. It's full of pickpockets here. So every time I approach
yeah.
a girl, they think that it's gonna be. The thing is, like this feeling of being weird, it's not gonna logically go away.
Okay.
You can only get over it if you talk to people, and that's what I mean. Like lower your standards for what a success is, right? Like you're trying to skip steps and go faster, but it's actually going slower.
Yeah, I kind of noticed this, and this is why I kind of approached you because I know I'm doing something wrong. So yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's what I'm keep telling you is talk to 8 to 10 people every time you go out, and it doesn't even matter if it's a guy or a girl. But if I look at your sheet, it should be like at least 8 people together. Like I don't care if it's 3 directions or 8 directions, but it should be if you sum up all the people that you've talked to today, it should be 8 plus.
So I've done that like four. I have to do four more, uh, and I should do them as quickly as possible, I guess.
Exactly. I
Right?
mean, you can do 8. You can do 8 in an hour. Because they're mostly going to be short interactions anyways if you talk to like strangers and if you say some shit like hey I like your jacket or hey do you know where the store is, and when you ask for a direction try to practice like solid eye contact, deep voice. You can practice these things even when you're
Yeah.
talking about like just directions.
Yeah.
You're switching the mindset of how you think about this. Rather than thinking, hey, I'm gonna like go and talk to girls, you're just like, no, I'm gonna improve my social skills, and like you treat it more as a problem, like a computer problem, rather
Yeah.
than, hey, giving this like, oh, she's gonna reject me and I'm not gonna get a date. No, fuck that. Like right now, it doesn't matter. What I would say is I actually translated a bit of a conversation. So what is good is you have positive energy, and I think that is good.
Yeah.
But you do have quite a lot of anxiety because you are speaking very fast, and
Yeah.
you're almost a bit incongruent, like too energetic almost, like right because like she was flexing, she was like resting against the stairs, and you could have said what you said, but just like a lot slower. Instead of saying how you said it, just down, and like
Yeah.
the energy should have been, hey, I saw you there, and I saw you resting against this thing, so I
All
had
right.
to say hi. And you
Yeah.
were like, da 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 da, like, hey, I saw you there, and things like. The reason
Super
that
quick.
this is happening again is because you're not talking to a lot of people, hence you have a lot of anxiety, hence it shows when you're talking, like you're like a bit like too excited to see the girl. So
Okay.
honestly, I think you're like right for the moment, what you're saying, like the words are actually fine. It's mostly how you say things. So
Okay.
if you can slow down half the speed, especially right now, right? Like it's Sunday evening, things are like they're like she was like resting against the armrest, and when you can have that like deep seductive voice and solid eye contact, it's gonna do the job for you. You don't need to kind of compensate with talking fast and talking a lot,
Okay. So
but
slow
it's
down.
gonna be hard to get there if you don't do that many approaches.
Okay. This
But how do you
starts
feel? You've done two. Do you feel a bit less anxious?
a lot less. I kind of feel
Yeah.
like more excited even.
Exactly
So
right, and it's only you only did this in two approaches. So imagine you did eight of this like every day, and it didn't like these
yeah.
interactions they didn't go anywhere, but it doesn't matter, like because it's more about building your state and momentum.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is what you should keep doing. And honestly, if I was you, I would also seek out the difficult approaches. If it's two girls, fuck it, just go talk to them, because right now it doesn't matter what's happening. It just matters that you went and talked to them.
Okay. So I think there are lots of things to write down because it's super hard to remember everything. I have to remember like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
all the
mean,
theory
first
stuff.
of all, this session is recorded, so I always have the recording.
Okay.
And second of all, I mean, I'm gonna send you a recording of each session. That's why I like to do this. And second is I am writing things down, so you'll have the other
Okay.
sheet as well.
Okay. Right. Yeah. Because sometimes I first have to remember floating techniques and stuff, and then remember all
Yeah,
this
yeah.
other
No, I mean,
stuff.
listen
And
back
it's
to
too
our
much.
record. Listen back to our sessions, because then you can
Okay.
relive and kind of like learn from it as well. That's why I also record them.
Right. Yeah. And by the way, oh, I feel like I have to come to this more basically every day. But one big thing I hear is that like stoners and other kind of, if that makes sense, they will know who I am, and it will feel kind of creepy. I would feel creepy.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And the thing is, like, again, don't judge your interactions
Okay.
on how the girl responds. Judge how you deal with your anxiety instead. Like, if you come and they all reject you, but you did your 8 approaches or 10 approaches, then it's a success, in my opinion. Because
Okay.
the thing is, like, if you can do that, you already have like the verbal structure to be successful. You're already saying the right things. It's mostly about being able to do this consistently and being able to do this with better nonverbal communication, and that you just learn
All
with
right.
with doing it more often. And then yeah, and then you can start being like improving your actual verbal stuff. But I think right now I mean, from at least what I understood the translator, you're kind of like flirting, doing assumptions. Hey, you look like this, blah blah, in a positive way. So I think that's like a solid baseline.
Okay, so it's yeah, and here I also notice a lot of people and girls and stuff looking at me. So I
Yeah.
know, but like in the good way, not in the bad way. Like I don't know why they're looking at me, but like
Yeah.
more in the good way.
But that's good. Like if they're looking at you, I always like also reframe things in the benefit, because if they're looking at you, it doesn't mean that some people are, oh my god, they're judging me, or some people I think like, oh, they're probably wishing that they could do this as well.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, I've turned it into a positive, positive thinking.
All right, what about the one in front of you? That's a good one. Come on.
Uh, I'm thinking what to say.
Just say you're
I
running
don't know.
super fast. You must be running away from the police or something.
No, I feel anxious because she passed when we were talking about theory stuff, and she. Okay, this was a good
Yeah,
one. Now I
but
got it.
again, see, like this is something you shouldn't even think about. This is like this shouldn't
Okay.
even be in your head. The only thing in your head should be like, hey, a hot girl, I need to talk to her. And you're only gonna get there by
If you
doing
talk
more
about.
volume. Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I kind of felt that the
like it
situation,
doesn't matter.
especially like yeah, especially in the summer. I remember when I was walking around at the beginning and I was missing like 16, 17 that I was like approaches that I was interested in, and I was like, okay, something's not right. I'm not doing something right. All right, I get it.
Yeah, yeah. Don't worry
More
about
volume.
those.
Yeah, more
Exactly.
volume.
There's like for you more value. Like every day you should have at least some of the total people you talk to should be 8 or more. And that's the
8
only
plus.
success metric you should have. Like that's literally the only success metric you should have for
Okay.
now. For now. And then once you start doing that, you're gonna have more chats, and then then we can start working more on the actual verbal game, because then it's like then you have enough sample size to analyze. Like again, right now when the sample size is too little, there's almost no there's not a significant volume of data to analyze the actual conversation.
Okay.
But
Um,
overall, like the positive things is that you do sound quite positive when you talk to them, and you have decent energy. It's just that you're a bit nervous, and then you come over the
yeah.
top. Like you sound a bit over the top.
Yeah. Now when you put it into words, it makes sense, but it's kind of harder to do. Yeah. It
Yeah,
makes sense to me. Yeah.
I see sometimes guys they do day game for years, and then I meet them and they say, yeah, like I'm gonna do 3 approaches today. While I mean, look, 3 approaches, like that's the warm up. Imagine you go to the gym and you only do the fucking stretching.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah.
There's some people here.
Uh, I want to do like full, if that makes sense, or should I just go with whatever?
Just go and do any of them. Doesn't matter.
All right.
I mean, you're going home anyway, so
I'm going.
it's like you get good reactions from girls. Like those are good reactions. It's just like
Yeah.
I feel like if you can fix your like the habit and the mindset of approaching more, it's gonna be a
Yeah.
massive game changer for you. So
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like the same.
cool, awesome. So yeah, how did it feel? Like you felt a bit like frustrated in the beginning and a bit anxious. Like did it get better in the end?
Yeah. I was thinking about what you said, and I was like, okay, I'm talking too fast. Let's slow it down. Let's slow the words per minute. So yeah,
Yeah,
and she was like super smiley. She had those big brown eyes, super open, super nice girl. She was waiting for her mom. I told her uh, I started like I told her like I really like her style. She's like super fresh, if that makes sense. And she
yeah.
told me, well, I have a boyfriend, and I told her, well, uh, don't get us married already, or something like this.
All right. So you know your homework, right? Like
Yeah.
just increase your volume.
Okay. More
Um,
volume.
yes. And yeah, if you have like anxiety, then just like feel free to send me a voice note, and I'll do my best to respond. Awesome, man. All right, I'll send you the invite then soon. And yeah, man, do the homework the next 2 days, and try to get eight plus. And I'll see you on Wednesday. Okay.
All right, sure.
Awesome, man. All right, Victor.
Th-
It
Thank you,
was
Gus. Thank you a lot.
a pleasure. All right. See you Wednesday.
See you.